Hey guys, Tin Man. You know, let me look at this and see if I can get my camera light on. Sure. Oh, enable flash, I can. So, okay, so I'm gonna just hang out here for a moment. Nobody's around yet. Maybe not at all. But anyways, I'm just gonna walk up here, take a look around here, and then I'm gonna do a trail walk because I see I can actually enable the flash. One of the things I thought is maybe we'd be able to see some shine. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. One of the things we do together. There we go. So now I got the flash on. And was this the branch? Maybe it was on the other side here. Yeah, this is the branch. So when I was viewing up this branch, we get a good shot from back there for you people who don't realize this. And basically, so I was going like this, and I was talking about on this video, and I'm talking about different things, and I end up talking about, I think I got him in the view there. Oh, there we go. I got it, I'm talking about that guy and stuff. And then I said, hey, wait a second, I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna do a zoom in. And when I zoom in, right in all in that area right there, is where you get to see some action of some sort. So I'm sitting here wondering if maybe we would be able to get some eye shine or not. Come down here so you guys can kind of see around. Not that you're seeing much, we all get that. But this is me just settling in. And now let's go across the street. And yeah, we're gonna do a live walk here with a clan. And I'm gonna put out my whatever you call these mono sticks. Put it out to longer. I carry like mine's like a 7-footer. Which is very cool. So what I'll do is I'll keep you guys on a lot of bush and stuff, or the ground at times and stuff, so you always have something in your view. Hey, that is Footnote. Yeah, I probably won't, I don't know if I'll say everybody to hi to everybody. Hey, Footnote, how you doing? Glad you're popping in, man. I decided, it's time to get up some courage and do a night walk in amongst with the Rock Clan here. So if I don't talk much or comment much, if you're hanging around, maybe just throw out a note there that Ian's got his mind pretty wrapped up in not breaking an ankle. There we go. I'm trying to keep myself safe. Plus, I'm going to put you on an extend so you're further away from me, actually. There we go. Hopefully you can, I'm sure you can hear me. Well, this is a good spot. You guys will be able to recognize some of the logs and stuff. Actually, I need to keep you a little bit closer so I have this light so I can see where I'm walking on the close foot end of it. So anyways, this is the log that they ended up stripping. Fair amount of it. Let's see if they've done more since I've been here last. I think it continued on a little bit more. But when you come into it and you start looking at it like this, maybe they brought it to a different level that it wouldn't have gotten to with that bark on. Doesn't mean they think that they have or not that they think, but it's not that the science that they're following, because they're following sciences, you guys will end up really, really understanding that. So to leave it partly covered is part of what they're doing. In some cases, I think I can tell that they're really experimenting in the field of in a lot of this stuff when they're doing this, but you know, that's me just guessing and stuff. So I'll give you a bit of a shot of the creek and stuff here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. I'm not going to cross the creek tonight. Obviously that's the bank. That's the bank of the creek. Woo! I'm going to bring her down, show you the creek a bit here. But I find that, like this root here, that's all so broken off there, very evenly and stuff like that. I don't find that so much just from nature's way. You know, I was really an outdoors kid a lot. I've come to realize that a lot. And in being an outdoors kid a lot, and just the way I am and such, I ended up realizing, now I realize, I should say, that I was taking a lot more in than I really did understand, did realize, I should say. And a lot of, you know, it's amazing how much stuff really comes back on the picture of the forest, how I've recalled it to be and stuff. And if I ever had my dad on here, he'd probably tell you that I've asked him a million questions about different things and stuff like that. So I've just got one of those very curious minds. So if I see something that's a little bit different on a roadway, I've mentioned those kind of things to people tons of times. Hey, did you notice that new bump on the road? You know, maybe I was 16 years old talking like that already and such. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to just walk, have some peace and quiet. How's that sound? So where I'm walking now, you can kind of hear the creek is still on my right. I'm in the what I call the rock throwing clan. And that story's built up, you know. I got other people who tell me now. One lady, she was hit in the chest by a rock and she thought she was confronting kids in the bush. And they threw a rock and hit her in the chest. Yes. And she also told me the same, along at the same time, that somebody coming down that same hill where my car got hit, and I witnessed somebody else's car getting hit, and somebody lost their windshield, she told me, in a hit. So where I'm standing now is I'm standing at a really cool place, and I'm going to put my wand out here, and then I'm just going to, even though you're going to be in the black, there's a reason for it. Got a big nestle of bush over the creek right there in front of you. We'll see if we can see those whitecaps at all. I just don't want you to get too confused with shines. So right now, about in center there, yeah, beyond, what is that, spider web? I can't even see it, but I believe that's spider web. I don't have you on Zoom, do I? Nope. Yeah, we're good. Make sure my focus is good. Sorry about that, guys, if I was really lost there. But I'm trying to find this really black that I know, yeah, there's the web, I see it now. So kind of directly through there, in the pitch of black, there's no way I would be able to pick up something with my light. Not that spider web's obviously close to the camera, it comes there. But just so for an experiment here, even for myself when I'm watching this later, so that pitch and black right back there, because that would be a great spot for somebody to be nestled trying to do a little bit of a peeker right now or have work to that spot. So my curiosity is for the shine of two things that are on a head. Gotta talk in code sometimes. Anyways, bringing you back now. We'll continue on with the walk. I don't know. Yeah, you guys should be able to see that, eh? The starry night. Camera better be able to pick up that kind of stuff for you. Like, the light gives me a lot. Like, I can see a fair amount here. So I'm liking the light. It's just that it kind of has its cutoff spot. And I just did a soaker. Pretty clean water, so I'm just going to wash up my feet here for a second. Well, it's very clean and a little chilly. I don't know if you guys are starting to notice, but on my channel I'm starting to do things now where I'm just putting out kind of information of how I do what I do to certain levels. You know, and there's one guy on there, Mark, that comes around all the time. What's his... He's got Beast in his name or something like that. And Mark, if you come on here and you're listening right now, man, why don't you just do yourself a break and leave my channel? And don't worry about it. In a couple of years, you can come back and get a different understanding if you like. But if you're going to hang around, please just stop talking. So in lots of cases, you can come into stuff like this, guys, and figure out who's been eating on them. You know, because this is the truth of it. This will be, am I saying that they planted these 3 or however mighty be in there and stuff? I'm not. But I am saying that it is part of the farming that we will see for sure they're involved in. So right now is kind of, it's almost like to me like a little bit of a bunk spot, hangout spot or whatever type thing. And once this stuff became kind of packed down here a little bit and stuff, it's never seemed like it's ever changed or anything. Right through here I could figure out a way through a trail, like there's probably a bit of a trail through here. Never gone in this way, so I'd really throw out a surprise. And because I do feel that that's a good little hangout spot, because it becomes very marshy in there and none of us want to go in there. And I've yet seen much evidence of us going in there. I'm going to keep going along here. I just don't feel like getting a super, you know, like a soaker. I'm only wearing these kind of shoes. But you see what's going on there, eh? Isn't that interesting? And you see that fresh water kind of in it there? A little bit on the side there, the edging of it. If you ask me, that was kind of made almost like, that almost looks like the palm of a hand. In a way. But who knows? And there's, you know, and that looks like that could have been somebody walking through here earlier, or like a lot of people may know now, that we're talking mimickers, and we're talking someone who'll take a shoe. Oh, look at this bush all here got pushed over. Or it's been just dropped here. No, it's been pushed over. Yeah, this will be a good time to kind of see what's back there. What's that? Oh, that's a leaf. Looked like it was way back there to me. Spaceship. Let's continue on. I don't know if I was saying anything relevant there, but let's just continue. Oh yeah, I was going to say that, yeah. Storage of shoes. I believe they probably kind of store shoes around sometimes. Okay, right here, right down there, I'm going to give you a view of it. You'll be able to see where I made a little clay figurine of one, sort of, right there. And then I believe it's them, came along and made a clay figurine of that heart. It's been sitting there ever since. Looking in water. Now you're looking beyond the water. Couple of sticks on my side of the creek. You know, I'll tell you one thing, in doing this, if you don't realize you need to hone up on your skills, then you don't realize how much work this is on these levels. If you realize, there, I'll go like this. If you realize that you need to hone up on your skills, and even in some cases creating the skill that we have within us as humans, but you haven't had to experiment much with or use much. So I'm going to just do this because, you know, I almost thought that there was a bit of a noise that was almost a vocal noise that hit my left ear there as we were walking past there. You can see there's trees in there. And such. You know, because I'm doing a lot of talking and stuff. For me to really hone in on sounds and such, I need to go quiet and listen to all the sounds. Not at all be you know, because I have that severe tinnitus and hyperacusis. And I don't need to be kind of upsetting my head with talking. So when I'm doing this, you know, I'm in bigger risking zone for listening for a bear. You know, I won't hear a bear as well. But if I were, you know, not talking for the video's sake, I will be hearing a lot, even though I got poor hearing, because of how hard I've kind of worked at it. Look at this, we got a little bit of a trail that's been pumped in here now, so that's a new sign. And see all this widening that's going on all here and stuff? I don't know if, I guess you can't see, but way over here is the other side, so I'm going to do it directly like the square line. So this plant and stuff here, you've come a foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot. And all this widening has gone on. Anyway, so there's a trail that's punched back here. Sometimes those are invite trails, especially when they're looking this good. Not this way. That's kind of more bust down stuff, but right here is a trail, and then there's something that's been all pushed over maybe here, so. Okay, this has been nicely cleaned up, because I think you guys understand how pretty messy it is in this part of the rock clan. It really is quite messy in here. So this is that tree that hasn't been pushed for a long time. At one time, there was a tree that had fallen over, it looks like, and we're looking in the stump of it. Oh, sweet. You guys want to go for... Oh, no, I might lose you. We'll try it a little bit, okay? If I lose you, then I lose you. But hopefully we won't. I'm going to watch. I don't want to lose you, so I'm keeping you back. It's showing me something on there. I wasn't sure if it was reception or not. Oh, look at this. This is very cool, man. Alrighty. Yeah. We got a little bit of weed gate going on here. It's not much, but it is weed gate. Push it through. Oh wow, this is a great big tree that at one time had come down here. Whoops, sorry. Had come down here, so we're right in behind. I never knew that they had this big wall here of shield. So this isn't new stuff I'm looking at right now. That trail by us is new. They've kind of punched it in, allowing us to see that that was ever even in existence, that's even there. Well, that's what it was saying before. It wasn't losing the connection. It was saying rotate the device, I think. So yeah, let's just do a looker back there then. That must have been my steam that was floating around still, I imagine. Because you're like eight feet away from my head now. I just heard another kind of a noise from back this way. I could almost say it was a breath type noise. "100%, you guys. Whoever's curious, whoever doesn't realize how I do this game, a lot of people are getting to realize what's going on, who I am, how realistic I am and such. And some people are really appreciating it, asking very intelligent questions, talking to me very politely based on trying to figure out more facts for themselves and processing it however they want to. I ain't cramming nobody to have to follow me, believe me or anything. Yeah, this will be a good spot to maybe, because this is one of the spots that I stop quite often and kind of look back in here. It's up in the trees back in there and stuff. It's quite entertaining to be looking in there and such. I don't know if any of you are starting to do night shadows, watch night shadows or anything, but I recommend it. In a place that you think there's activity, go there in the evening as the light is settling down. Watch the shadows, understand how shadows work. Is that a horse? Or a big goat or something? Or I don't know what that's. Oh, a foot going that way. Oh yeah, you see that though, eh? The thing they forget about is the night light. Telling you, that's pretty darn good looking to me. See how that leaf is even in the character on the right side of the press. And the thing is, if you stand here and you look, you can't really make it out. And, you know, that's part of the bonus of night walking, because there's another one right there. One of the things that these guys show to me, and I'm kind of seeing it in that one, is a very quick heel brake line. You know, I always call it a brake line and stuff. That line, yeah, I can tell they've been around here. It's too much barefootish. But, it is in order. Let me just get this one in order first, and I'll come back to that. I hope you guys can pick it up. I almost feel like I'm hearing some kind of little bit of rumble and stuff. See well, that's a full-out spider web too, so that's nice. See him there at all? Looks wicked, man. He's upside down and stuff. Let me see if I can get him good for you. I want you guys to be seeing him upwards then, so hold on. Oh, stop playing games, Tin Man. I hope that looks kind of beautiful, you guys, because to me it's looking kind of wicked. Whoops, I caught him. Sorry, buddy. But you know, that could have been brought here. True. True, true, true. I'm sure you can visualize how you could bring it here. Might be really hard for you to be successful. Okay, let's go through to the creek. This is another path that they have busted through that I actually videotaped recently, and we talked about it, and this is where I picked up that handful of sticks that were all just cut and leaned up against there, like kind of neatly. You know, I don't always say stuff, you guys, lots of times when I'm doing my research. At night like this, I want to talk a lot. And here's the sticks right there that I talked about. So whoever came through and kind of helped clear up this trail, I can't even find any stubs of those trees. I actually looked around. So I think they might have been from maybe in this clearing spot right here. That has now become almost like a big trash pile where a bunch of stuff's just being tossed. So maybe that's a a bed of some sort or something, but it looks kind of rough down there, but could pretty much be a bed of some sort. So now we come up with the creek again, which is really cool. Oh, you guys see that? A black chair. Let's grab it. So you can kind of see how things are cleaned up around here, I'd imagine, though. We've got this nice dark wall there. On this other side there, where you're looking right now, is where I quite often have, you know, proclaim they're in there and try to give us different shots in there and stuff. And it's legit. And I wouldn't doubt it if there's some in there right now. Some of the shine, I'm just going to look about getting closer is what I'm trying to do. Some of the shine that you might see. Oh, look at that big log. I don't think that was there before. I think they're changing this bit of the bank there a little bit. But what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna do you guys a shine up again. See if you guys can pick anything out that you might. That looks pretty cool, eh? That looks really beautiful, actually. So I'm showing some nice colors there, isn't it? I'll bring you up in just 1 second here and get a whole view of whatever we can see. So once we get in behind that plant, then other plants are a ways back there at that height. Right in the center there, that tree in the center there. If you can see any leaves a little bit shining on the center one, it's probably 40 feet away or more. Anything behind that now where I'm pointing up higher or anything, if you happen to see any kind of shine or anything, it will not be any leaves. I don't even know if you do get that middle one. I'll bring down to the lower middle ones right there. There's other ones that are kind of right in front of us across the creek. Now I'm going to go to another dark area there, in case you can see anything through the center maybe. Hope you get why I'm doing all this chit-chatting and stuff, like kind of some direction talk. I hope it's helpful. I think it'll be even helpful for my, I'm recalling where I'm standing. So this is where the creek kind of splits in two, but that's, oh yeah, it's flowing now on the right side, but we're on the left side. Well, let's go up here. I have never walked up here. Like, actually I walked the whole creek, but I mean, I just haven't walked this in particular way. That's right, I have gone on the other side mostly to check out the tightness of the other side and stuff. But it's kind of cool to be on this side now. It's ridiculous how much this live connection makes you feel like everything's okay. So I'm going to show you guys a little something. You see all those? Huh? You see those cut off right there? See that one cut off right there? I'm just not trying to pay too much full-out point-out connection right now at this time of night. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter if my pants get wet. I didn't want to get you guys, I didn't want to have to stop and do all the work of pulling up my pants and put on my shoes there, so. Okay, I know where I am again. Oh, cool. Oh no, that's shadow. I kind of thought I seen something, but it was shadower. So we're going into that spot and kind of look at it from behind. This is kind of pretty cold water. You don't want to be in the cold water too much. Okay, so it almost looks like they've widened up this part too. Kind of interesting that why they're widening the trail so much. You know, They got this stuff here as a bit of a blocker. But I mean, if you're going to widen the trail this much, and I've walked in here. Well, I guess it's maybe because they're working and stuff a bit. They're working this bank. So maybe you guys can get a little bit of an idea. So you can, well, it looks like it's almost compacted. I thought it was tore down stuff, but not really. So then you can see that, different stuff going on here in the clay. There's a skid mark there. Some whatever kind of stroking and pressing and stuff. I don't know how much they appreciate this quick of coming in, right? But so for whatever reason, it could be bugs. All the work that goes on under there. Critters, whatever we might call them. Anything that really stands out. So you see that algae on there and stuff. Maybe that's, or whatever level of moss that is, maybe that's part of what they're doing. I haven't picked up on that a lot though on the clay. But they like the clay, different minerals. I always forget to think in the mineral world. And some of the people are starting to remind me more often because I'm always pointing out the full change when they're mucking around with the rocks. I'm trying to really see what's going on. Oh, look at that. Look at that, eh? What kind of print is that? Because I always talk about oh, look at this stick. No change of subject here. You see that stick that I'm trying to kind of bring into the subject too right now? Because I'm feeling kind of tense myself. So I'm changing the subject a little bit. For others, not just for myself. Really shining it up and talking about it and stuff. I'll toss it over there and finish what we need to do here. That, you think that's a foot texture? Like the bottom of a foot texture? Oh, look at this guy right here. Oh, he's cute, eh? Yeah, I gotta sound that crazy. Remember my video where I'm talking to Mama? You guys don't understand what it takes. Wow. Because there's a fair amount of moisture right here. And in the time that I've been hanging out here, guys, if we've seen that moisture change in size at all, because that's what it will do, it's coming down and it's fanning out however it is. But if it has done it since we came in here at first and stuff, then that's pretty cool. Because that tells us that it's just either, because it looks like it would be reaching the surface more than flowing, like it's still flowing down, I would guess, maybe, pressure down, and it's finding its way released. Unless some water was brought over here and splashed on there. No, it looks like it's, okay, so here we go. We can see where it's even dripping from here down to there. So if we came off and we scraped this down to the harder pan, it would take a time for it to get wet again. So that's one thing I'm going to look at from the beginning of this video, because I'm sure there's a certain amount of shine. I know some people might be thinking, hey, you're standing in this area and looking at this for a long time and all that kind of stuff. But it's because we got to understand how amazing I know this is. And I hope you guys are understanding it through the value that you're getting to see it at right now. So I'll give us a little couple of different angles here and such. You know, this one right here is blowing my mind on... It's like it's a whole thing. You know, it's not like it was, okay, I'm going to make these individual lines here. It was more like if we did it with a glove or something because of the texture on it. So sweet. That is very cool. And I don't know if you guys pick up, but you know, I'm not, when I'm saying I'm, you know, oh, I just heard a little peep there. Saying I was coming this way, I think, I guess. So that's cool that they're communicating right now. Gives you comfort. Gives me comfort to know that they're communicating. So yeah, this trail, did I come this far back? In the daytime, I haven't come this far back. Did I come this far back? I don't think I did. I guess that would probably punch through to the creek. It's heading in that direction. And I haven't been understanding that I've been told that I'm not welcome here. So I'll keep going forth. Could be missing some vital signs, you guys, but if you don't get, is that it almost looks doggy, eh? If you don't, and that's another thing, look at, they're not even putting really any doggy ones. That might be kind of one, but you know how I always talk about that part of it. Oh. Hey, buddy. What's going on? You okay? Is it okay, pal? Hey? Everything's okay? Well, there we go. That's nice. A little mild contact. Nothing you can hear in that voice, you guys. You guys can turn around and say, whatever guy wants to, can say, oh, I could tell that was a real. Okay, that's fine for you to say that. But what I'm saying is, he obviously was communicating with me because he was going off of my talking back. And he didn't become aggressive and mean. So, dog didn't get mad. Why did this make noise? Right, I did. Dog didn't get mad. Whatever else didn't get mad. That's what I listen for. So these guys who want to come on there and think that they're actually saying something to try to make me feel their pain. It's like you're the one with alcohol issues or woman issues or married issues or whatever. I'm not. I'm out here doing work. I'm researching. Leave me alone. And I'm cool. People don't have to say, hey, Tin Man or Ian, don't worry about those guys, you know. Ignore them and all that kind of stuff. You really, you know, I'm just doing part of what I think us humans do. That kind of level, I'm kind of appreciating all this, and I'm talking with you guys and telling you, you know, I've told a lot of life experiences and a lot of how my life is on my channel. It's about me, no doubt. I really didn't expect this, you guys. You're getting a treat. Who's here? 10 people. Oh, cool. Whoa. Okay, so this is a spot where I've, see, this tree is totally over the creek. I'll show you. Old creek here. We might be able to see some crayfish tonight. Awesome. This is the spot where I seen one. Anyway, so right, you know, the creek goes all the way over there. Well, from where I'm pointing right now, the creek, the wall of the bank is 15 feet away. And it's on this side now. So we're at, you know, we're 30 feet wide, I'd say. And now I'm going to go under this tree, and I'm going to try to go under where it's a little bit not too low, but the water's not too low. I'm getting soakered. Better make sure I don't have anything vital in my pockets, just in case. Okay, I know really well where I am. And this is where I figure, you know, this is where I've walked in a couple of times. You see how deep that was? This is where I've walked in a couple of times. In this bushy area here behind. Because I could tell they left some cut brush there. And there's even some brush stuff going on there now. Anyway, so I've really felt they've hung out back there, so you know, we probably can see some shine. I think how wet I am, I'm not going to just go even that 30 feet. Stay smart and just keep going onward. Because if anybody feels like hanging out, I'm hearing some water here. If anybody feels like hanging out at all, they're hanging out. Oh yeah, I was going to do a little check for crayfish, wasn't I? Get focused, Ian. This is, you know, actually about from where we're shining right now. That's about where I seen, if you see on my other video there, where I got to get really close to that pretty orange guy. Got some good minnows going on in here. Yeah, that's where it is. So that's where we are. And they've turned around and, or somebody has, they're making it look like a beaver bit of a trail here. But it's a lot taller also. And there's no signs of beaver, muskrat, otter. Not in this area. I just had some, oh man, I got dry cedar falling down my back when I went under that tree, you guys. The sacrifice. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm really happy. I think I'm going to be able to have a good month on my actual YouTube financial status. So that is a bonus. I think I'm going up like 300, you know, I just throwing out the number because I'm not that great at numbers, right? But I would say it's a good 300% from the previous month. Did you hear a hoofer there? Something like, sounded like kind of a hoof. I was moving at the same time, so it might have been my my movement. Oh, look at that, right there, toes. See them? Oh, you get much better than that, guys? Look at that. Look at that rock. Change the subject. You know what I'm talking about? You see that rock? Just changing the subject a little bit. Coming from a different angle. So you can verify what you want to verify. Think about the pressure and the wetness you see in there and the livability, how long you thought that should live. See, there's different ways of being smart on your tracking. You know, I got a number of guys that kind of clown a little bit with me and stuff like that, and they'll say silly things and think they're all that. But when they're walking the creek or near a creek and they're watching to see if they think these guys are around at all, have they ever thought to measure the different heights of water on top of rocks and decide that, say we see these rocks are soaked right there, we're gonna go, it doesn't make sense for the flow of water. Have these guys ever thought that? That wasn't something that I went to one of my tracking buddies and said, hey, give me a whole bunch of tips. You know, tell me what to figure out when I'm out there. I went out 2 years ago and I decided to figure out for myself, because that's what most of us are doing. You know, people say, oh yeah, you're trying to brag or something. Not at all, man. You negative people, get positive. Realize that when you're on the positive side, whether you think the person is right or not, but you're just trying to treat it with respect and positivity so you can try to get a grasp on his positivity, then that's when you're actually trying to track it. Oh, I'm tracking. Enough said. Enough said. So that's behind us. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Thanks for all the thumbs. You know, people who give thumbs and try to remember to do it, you guys are awesome. Because that helps us out a lot. It really does. You know, even say sometime you want to sign into your YouTube channel, Google me. Go through the Google thing, search window, or one of the search windows, but Google's probably the better one because that's the one I more or less use. It's all YouTube stuff. And because you come in looking for me through Google, it's still, you're going to punch in Tin Man whatever, and it's going to bring me up. And that search option helps make them aware that people are looking at, oh, so there's a car up there. I've worked back in closer to the bank side. It's up there somewhere. And yeah, give you an idea. But yeah, so that Google search, that's very helpful. Okay, I'm gonna walk right under the creek now. Whoa. Doesn't that make sense, eh? Well, I think this is, you guys hearing the tweeting and stuff? I think somebody's trying to test out my ears or something, but you know, I got my tinnitus, and so when I hear the very high pitched, like I was just hearing, then it can be, there they are. So, whoops, the bottom was the heart, and that was my little Sasquatch figurine. It's not far to go up the creek, but I can climb up this bank. I just don't know if I'll, yeah, I'll climb up the bank. My feet are cold. And whoever's sticking around, I will check the messages in a moment. If anybody's interested in me reading them off or running through them, seeing what's up, seeing who's stopped in. I'm gonna have to put you guys down for a minute. So I do an army maneuver. Whoops. What's that? Don't break. Okay. No, that's not gonna work. There we go. I could just do it sheer strength. I was thinking that maybe I could do a strategy climb on the roots, but that was a fail. So, we went in pretty deep, and I know where we can finish off, I think. I'll think about it. Got a couple of options to go to. Hope the sound is picking up some good sounds. Hope I'm not moving too fast for you guys every time. Well, they're sure bucking a lot of stuff where you can see through farther and stuff. That flash was a moth, most likely. Unless there was something else. So right in the middle, nice steam. Right in the middle there we would have a tree. So, yeah. Oh, that was more leaves. And lots of times I'm looking at the camera, so all of a sudden I see something white. And for the other ones, the people who think, well, why don't you come up on them slow or something? Must have been my stepping, eh? So that's the thing I forget to do sometimes is, well, this is only the other one, the first, oh yeah, so that was the one that I walked over and I ended up stepping on it? Or no, I think it's the same way. It's hard to say what's going on there, but there is kind of a mismix of presses. I could go down that way and see a press, maybe look for a press or something, but so straight away, I'm gonna go straight away with you guys here, like this, and this is where, back in that area is where I've suspected, because this is where there's a 90-degree turn in the trail, so I suspect, you know, because that's what they like those head-on looks. See, I didn't even pay attention to realize if that guy was there or not, but he probably was. Daylight's different, you get to see a lot more and you kind of naturally register. So this is where we walked into, the very beginning. I don't like to have you guys pointing at the ground all the time, just so you can have something to look at. Guess I could have. How long have I been going here? What does that say? Oh, 51 minutes. That's not bad. You know, I got almost 2 gigabytes still, so it'll probably, you know, might use one of them. I'm wondering if I should go through that way. If anybody sends me a yes right away, then I will. I want to go camping now. Cheers, my friend. Right on. That's right on. Wow, got lots of talking going on. Right on, guys. I won't be able to go all through that. Ah, sweet. Never good to see so many people came in. You know what? So, seeing as I got so much action going on and I really didn't get to be much involved in it, I'm going straight. Let's see some more thumbs there's, guys, for appreciation of this. If you don't think that this is felt inside me, what I'm doing right now, then you don't know how to read me very well. Watch more of my shows, and you might be able to pick up when I'm on a upset mood and when I'm mad, sad, whatever kind of stuff, scared at times. But it never is dramatized too much. It's not coming out super duper whatever. So realize if somebody, just even a friend, jumped out in front right now and said kabooey, I kid you not, man, I'd feel it very heavy. Hopefully not heart attack heavy, but I would feel it heavy. Now, if I wanted to be really crazy, okay, this is a junction spot for going up to a high perch they have up on the mountainside over here. And it's through here. Look at that mammoth of a tree. Hey, this one right there, that's about a 9-incher or 10-incher. And look at those. You see those guys? Don't think somebody's been, or that one, or yeah, there's a couple. Don't think somebody's been coming through with a hatchet. Another way you can get an idea is you look on the length, like the depth length of them. You can sometimes see a bevel in them, feel the bevel in them. You don't just find them in the wood like that. You'll find them surface cuts even. And they have a bevel. Not every time necessarily, I don't know that, but they can do the bevel. And so that is a double cut. And hardly any of us are carrying a pocket knife that does a double cut. Unless it has a blade on either side, then you can do a double cut, I guess. But most of us have just a straight blade where it's just going to do a slice, cut, whatever. This is bevel, like a cove sort of thing is what I'm saying. So, yeah, this is pretty wicked that I decided to turn this way, you guys. I didn't think twice about it. Glad I ended up making that dive in there. See how on some of the, I'm sure with some of the lighting and stuff, you guys might be able to make out a difference. So there's a shoe print. and stuff, but you guys might make out shadow differences. Like, I guess we won't get it much on the video so much because I move quick and maybe it's blurry at times and stuff, but when you're doing night walking, I don't know if you've done that, and you're doing it with flashlights, not this kind of a light. It's better to have a controlled beam light a little bit more than such a broad light. And so this one's really broad, but with a controlled beam light, it's interesting. Somebody took out that mushroom. And if you look at this, you're not seeing enough pattern of shoes and stuff, guys. I don't know if you're picking up on that, but this is not at all the hiking trail. Which way do we usually go? Oh, that way. But this way's, it's because of the light, it's showing up a little bit here. Yeah, a little hangout down there, maybe. Yeah, so on one of my videos there, I said I went around 28 hours. Yeah, I'm walking through some silkworm webs, I think. I think they might use those. Spread them across for whatever reason they do. Anyways, so there's some trails being pumped through here. Yeah, it was actually approximately 32 hours I was up for. And then I crashed for 17 hours and then got up today. And I tell you, man, do I ever feel so much better today. It's funny. That kind of a weird sleep pattern. And wake up feeling really refreshed. See, it's for me, myself, even shining, like, you guys might not be seeing much yourself down there, but I'm looking way down a bankside, like 40, 50 feet. And this thing gives me enough light that I would be able to make out black shadows there. I don't think I'm going to go all the way up to the lookout though. I'm close to it, but I still have to do my walk out of here too, and I want to keep the show rolling for that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of, I get enough light shine that I'm seeing all around. Get to see a big, 30 foot, 40, 50 foot circle. And I get to see about 30 feet into the brush before that's the last things that I'm kind of shining up. So makes it a pretty good shine. Speaking of shine, I wonder what my power line's at. Hope I don't die on power, because this is my only flashlight. Yep. Yeah, that's how you do it, you guys. You do it by what is that? Do it by the cuff of your, I don't know. Something like that. Hey, I think I heard a noise down here. For people who are thinking, oh yeah, he's hearing something with the noises, there can be that. At times it doesn't mean you're hearing everything perfectly. But people who, are doing what I'm doing and such, they know that they make noises. I don't know if they realize how much noise they make. I got a high count of noise from these guys. Very high count. And good response back and stuff. That's what we were talking about earlier with that dog going there. Did I don't know. I might have not have completed what we were talking about there, but when that dog was going, and you can tell he was responding back and forth and stuff. I know where I'm standing too. I know where I was pointing at that time. That was downflow of the creek, and I know how far I am from any residents around here. And that guy would not come closer. He did respond. And yeah, what else? That's something I wanted to say about it, I think. And just even that little test out that I did with them is you know, something I do all the time. Not necessarily that style. I got a bunch of different styles that I use. Anyway, so right here, you see, for starters, well, this one's growing into healed now, so I'm not going to say much about it. And you see all these little lines right here? Right? Like if you came up and you nicked on your tree a little bit, a few lines like this, the tree's going to send something there to try to heal what you just did to it for damage. So just understand that. If you start to see this is sap, think of sap almost like blood. It's within the tree. It's doing something at this time. Anyway, so see this cut right here? I can feel the cove in this cut. I talked about that without even remembering that this was here. You know, blah, blah, blah. Can I feel it on this one? I don't think I can feel the cove on that one, but I'm going to give you a bit of a close-up on that angle, so you can kind of see. Let me see if I can give it to you a little bit there. See that? Sometimes it's very prominent. This one, yeah, right here it dissipates a bit, but there's cove on this side. So it's got rounding in there, if you're not understanding what I mean by that. So if you come across a tree like this in the bush that is mutilated like that, then we mostly can only think machete. But once you start getting these guys a lot in your area, and this might not be the culture that they're going to do it in. You realize that too, I hope, that they have different culture and stuff. I don't know if I've ever recognized that one choppered off yet. And see how they're starting to do split downs on this and stuff like that now and stuff. So that's all changing. And the reason why I say see, if you see that, is because I've been in here before. I came and I looked at this tree. I thought it was kind of cool. That it was a tree. And then they, life or whatever, grew this section of the tree on. Look at what it looks like. Size of my hand. And then, so yeah, they're coming along and doing whatever kind of pickings and stuff. They peeled off this bark here. That's cool. So that's been since I've been coming a little bit, I'm pretty sure. Because when I first walked up, I came from this side, I believe, or not. Anyways, there's some markings. There's even some, even a bit of a drill hole there. You see that hole right there? Most people will think automatically that it's a woodpecker. What is that saying? Kudo. Well, I'm at 50%, so that's not bad. And then some more slicing there, guys. You know, look at all those little etching marks. You see that? If you realize how kind of the place we're in the forest and stuff, no kid's coming in here and he's just going to do some, hopefully you can see that. Right there in the middle on that wood right here. And even this, you know, these initials and stuff, copycats. I'm not saying that that's not a person, but the guy was sure a lazy bum. And I'm kind of trying to wonder how long this has been like this. But maybe I didn't notice it. Yeah, they've punched in a bunch of new stuff. This is signs of moving in stuff. Look at that sand from the water. Shall we check and see how wet it is? Could have been from a dry pile. Oh no, that's coming from down below. See? You gotta admit to it too, guys. It's hard to do. I felt the blood flow of, oh, you're ridiculous, Ian. Another mole and you're thinking it's something else. But it's life. Sweet. I don't like that trail. I don't know where it's bringing me. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the destination of the spider webs. You seeing that at all? Woo-woo. Had a good time. Thanks for hanging out, whoever hung out. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna take some view on the mountainside, okay? This is where the troop would hang out. I'm still on the other side of the creek. You know that log we were at earlier? Just walk through some more kind of web. I think it's such a fine web all the time. I always think it's like an inch silkworm sort of thing. So there we are. We're on top of the log now. Oops. Hang on. A little bit slippery. Okay. Past the danger zone. I get to stand on a pretty big landing here. See the size of my feet to this? Right at the stump, you know, this is the stump of a log. And then there's our creek. It's widening up on us and stuff. This is the log that stripped that we're looking at. Now we're going to do a view up the mountainside. Looking up the creek there, obviously. I think you can see the bridge and stuff. There's some lighting around it. See if you get to see anything up there. You see a little bit of tree shine here, probably. Weeds or something right there. So we're trying to see if we're illuminating anything further than that stuff right there. Yeah, that was a tree, that little spot there I gave you. Go, man. It's just having a little fun. That was some leaves you grabbed right there on that left corner there. I wonder if any of them are sitting right in there. Indeed, they're probably just right over there too. Like, see that shine of the sign? I'm looking down from that 20 feet, 30 feet is where the ground actually is, where we're going to be going. Okay, so I got to concentrate here. What if we do another view up this hillside, just so we get a different bit of an angular going on? Kind of cool, straight ahead. I thought I seen something that gave a shine with my own eyes. I'm gonna try that movement again, because it was when I was raising it up. But the way this light illuminates, there might be a strongness in the center of it, I guess. I don't know. So if anything, I'm just looking to see if we can pick up on anything, guys. I'm gonna have a, no, I was thinking about having a little fun with that, but I guess you're not seeing what I was talking about. I was talking about a bank side. I thought maybe I'd see if I can go close to it. Okay, this is about 2.5 foot drop. I'm gonna jump it instead of, there we go. So you put the number in your mind. That'll help your reflexes and stuff too. See if they're around here at all. Come down and act kind of casual when you're coming down. Don't always want to necessarily be in their face. I'm washing my feet off at the same time. This is kind of my style to, you know, I look over their stuff a lot. They probably know it 100%, but do they really register and understand that they notice that they notice it's different than somebody else, you know? That's the understanding to come. Is, yeah, we're on the total gate out now. Awesome. Lots of you guys hung around and stuff, and whoever had to take off and or maybe watching this later or whatever, appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's coming in. I've been getting, you know, I don't know if people know this, but I'm getting close to 1 million views. So I get some recognition, and my numbers have been really piling up lately, and I think that's because of sharing and stuff. I don't think it's because anything's changed for people to clue into what's going on. I think it's just about life. Hey, I'm here. Woo. Don't worry, I didn't lose my hat. It's in my pocket. Oh, I left my tea sitting here. All of a sudden I turn into a Bigfoot. Oh, somebody put some ointment in it. So let's see what we got going on here, brothers and sisters and whoever else. Sorry, a little slow here. Multitasking. Oh, you guys are all into a big subject and stuff, eh, guys? Ah, Bigfoot. Yeah, that's right. It's cool. Very cool. Very cool, guys. It's, am I a little bit pumped up? Is this sort of vein kind of going here? No, not really. Might be a vein that's a little bit pumped. That's when I kind of sometimes get a little. You're welcome. Footnote, you're very welcome. You're welcome to anybody. Yeah, a little bit, eh? Cool. It's as expected. I'm also kind of hot too. I can do the cool down. I can open up my car. I can come back down to earth, you know, so to speak. You know, you really go somewhere when you're out there walking around with those grizzly bears. You know, people laugh all the time at that, you know, grizzly guy up in Alaska that ended up getting eaten. And I thought he was an idiot. And I thought he did totally a stupid thing taking his woman there. Like just idiotic, stupid. And they paid the ultimate price. But the guy was a bit of a master. And people got to understand, they make all this fun and say he's actually gay and he's this, whatever, and stuff like that. Because he used to always say that he's the best lover in the world. But, you know, I've known lots of guys who have said that. And all that kind of crap. So watch that guy and understand that animals pick up character. You know, my fish, I've had lots of fish. I've had tons of animals. I've probably had, I don't know, maybe 500. Sorry about that. Maybe I've been up to 500 fish now or something. That's not with exaggerating either way. It's kind of pretty good. Sorry about that. And I tell you, man, personalities. Not just a fear-based thing, because when you have schools of fish and stuff, you can do a breakdown on, you can start to bring in individual personalities and stuff. It's not like it's a great bouncing out thing. So in other words, you're walking around in here one night and you bump into the wrong personality. So the way that I've shown and I presented to a lot of people is you build yourself a base and you show them good respect and stuff. Don't think you have to go so far out into the forest and such like that. And, you know, maybe that guy, because whoever hasn't listened to it, go back to a video that I got where I get growled at. And I actually even try confronting him and talking to him. And yeah, I have a short version of it. It's like 2 minutes and something long maybe or something. It's just a black picture, you'll see it, and it will be in my favorites or my 100. I think I might have it in my 100% under my, yeah, you haven't seen that one yet, eh? Yeah, listen to it, man, and really get into the listening. And if you're hearing things don't work or you're not getting it much, try a different hearing. And yeah, no, it's just like this. I'm doing the same thing. I'm walking along with it's the first night. It's my first real night walk, I think. And yeah, there's a whole story to it that I don't want to get too much into right now. I guess it's not the time, but there was a whole big working up to it. And the outcome is that I was trying to track them based on old information. So I'm thinking I'm out there home free at one point. That's right. And then I come across a fresh, real awesome looking human print. Slender. If I remember the length right, I programmed 9 inches into my mind. And it skidded off of a little bank like that. And at that point, I had my light on, and this is 45 minutes earlier than the growling approximately, and I laughed about it, and I'm like, whoa, you guys see this, man? That video, I haven't found it yet, but I do have I'm pretty sure, I hope I will have it. I hope I will have it. But I do have the other part of the video. Anyway, so that stuff went on. 45 minutes, I'm way over there. And I'm seeing some, it's 26, it's about 2.5 months into, or I mean 1.5 months into this. 1.5 months? Yes. Yeah, about 6 weeks, that's right. That's usually how I call it, is 6 weeks. Anyways, so 6 weeks into it, and I was in this really upset state of mind because I was getting all these big number readings. And so I'm in this fresh place. Checked it out the day before, realized, hey, they are here. Came back the next day at night. Walking around at night, I'm in Mission, Train Bridge, if you know Mission at all, you know where I live here. And I'm past the train bridge a bit. I'm walking along, scuffing, and it's all noisy and stuff. I just got in this pole and the new camera, I think, so I wasn't really good with them, and I'm making all this squeaky noise and everything. No flashlight on. All of a sudden, I just heard something. I wasn't sure, but I heard something. So I stopped, and we're in the black. So we get to see the river is the background, and we get to see the lights of Mission on the other side of the thing there. And that's, if you know the area, just go on Google Earth if you want to, and look of the right of look of the north, I guess, yeah, probably north of the bridge. Anyways, so upriver. Anyways. Something caught my attention, and I'm so glad now, because I really didn't register what it is, and it was almost like one of those things. Something happened. I heard something. Because the video was on, so you get to hear a couple of the faint things. So on that video, within 2 seconds or something, you hear really light growl, but it's really hard to make out. But on my daughter's phone, we could make it out very well. At about the 5 seconds, I say 3 seconds on the video, but it's actually closer to about 5 seconds, you hear them very well. Awesomely? No. To me, awesomely, because I know and I'm hearing them well. So that was the noise that I guess kind of got my attention or whatever, but I wasn't bringing it in at all and breaking it down and understanding what I heard. But I knew to question, and right away I could hear some breaking and stuff. And then I end up walking across the dike, and the dike's probably, a good 12 or 14 feet wide or something, so I come that much closer. Now it's just a bank that goes down, and they're back in the bush, just off from the river. The river's kind of right behind them, then all the big rock, and they're just up on top, or maybe hanging on the rock, whatever, but all the bush is a certain amount of thickness of bushes there, and then there's a lower path here that I had earlier walked past and stopped at that area and was talking about it, and then continued on, remembered, I want to go and check the corn on the other side of the dike, so I walked up to the top of the dike, just shortcutted, and then I'm walking that side of the dike, looking into the dike, trying to figure out if I'm getting any, or if I'm seeing any trails into the cornfields. So corn was still even standing. And then this stuff got me going, and then I realized, there's breaking of trees and stuff, and I think I was hearing certain vocalization within it the whole time, certain amounts, and I felt like I could make out that there was more than one. And then right near the end, it doesn't sound anything like on the first, well, it does sound a lot like the first one at 5 seconds, but it doesn't sound the exact same as it, like not near as kind of scary on video. But, and this is like a minute, and I can't remember the exact number, but let's say with about 1:40 this is going on, guys. From when I went, hey, what's going on? What are you, and then I start, what are you so upset about, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, at that point, he did this real trumpeted kind of harshest kind of growl again. And yeah, when I heard that thing, man, I don't know. I didn't feel like scared shitless, like, oh my God, what's like this or anything. But I was like, yeah, I just knew from my heart of hearts that this is just not right. You know, you're stalking me, dude. You took it farther than what I've been doing. You put the footprint in front of me. That's not my fault. That footprint had nothing to do with what I was doing tonight. You guys put that footprint in me, so I was still in my mode of doing whatever I'm doing. Then you start to growl at me because I'm walking around on human turf and just trying to figure stuff out. So if you guys can feel that as harshly as I feel it right now, I don't think it's right. And some people have got me thinking back in those days that it's their time. And yeah, I get that that's their time and stuff, but we build things like these lights and we use a certain amount of that space, and he didn't have to do what he did. And yeah, then we go on from there. People go missing. Women, children, men, animals. It's chaotic animal slayings being done lots of places. Even around my place here, I see a lot of what I would think is more roadkill than I've ever seen before. And a lot of it is not even very damaged roadkill, and even roadside sometimes. And I've said that before on a video, that if you could catch somebody and you had the strength just to clip them on the head, like right here on the head, you can just end his life right there. It's kind of like how people do it at the butcher shops and stuff. And I've stopped with a few of these animals, and they just look like they've probably just barely been clipped by a car. And that can all be legit. It can be, but I've heard this more, so be aware. Be in an understanding about it. But I'll tell you this one. Look up, I think it might have been Vice. And it might be from 2014 or 16. And it's about cat killings. Check it out. And in particular time, I think in particular community, there was 350 cat slayings of butchered things. And watching the video, get this, watching the video, the guys who were making the documentary, it might not be Vice in the end, but the guys who were making the documentary go to where a slain cat just had happened the night before. So they go there, and so you know, there's 2 veterinarians that are helping out in this with free service, I think, and stuff like that, because they're trying to figure out who's doing this with all the cats. Anyway, so they go and they interview the man and stuff. His wife's really upset. I can't remember if she talked or anything. But in their corner of the yard, right in the corner there, they go out and film it and stuff. Yeah, this is where we found her and blah, blah, blah. And she was missing, I think, her right part here. They said, I think I don't know if her paw might have been left. I'm not too sure. But she was missing something. Sorry about that. She was missing something of that. They do the interview, they leave. The next day they get a call to come back before they had left town. They come back there, and there was 2 bones, because there's 2 sections of bone, I guess, in the cat's front leg there. I'm pretty sure, if my memory's recalling properly. Cleaned, I think, you know, to whatever degree. But they're sitting in the same spot where that cat was put the night before, that's missing that part of the leg. And if I remember right, it wasn't her leg, but it was some other cat's leg. So that's a really wicked characteristic of a human being, like Silence of the Lambs type, and I think it's I hate saying that, I hate having to think that, but I think it's the and the ore might be just part of a family. We got to remember all these kind of things. Another thing I'm starting to say more and more is, you know, my channel might end up getting cut off eventually. I'm not going to say it more and more. I'm going to throw it out here. But my channel could get cut off eventually because nobody's really talking on the same level as me, I think, out there. Nobody's got the balls or the guts or whatever to do it, even if they've had some weird experiences that kind of connect them with me. And my stories, they still don't support it and stuff. They're chicken, they're pansy-ass, they're weak. We can't be weak to try to get this message across. And I don't push anybody. Just look at the way that I do my data. I say it's up to you to go out there and look at the bridge. You know, there's a bridge right here that I don't really look much at. Whoops. There's a bridge right there that I don't look at much. I haven't even gone down really and explored it much, except for one edge over here. I pointed out because, you know, I'm a concrete guy, and they got their treated lumber in there, like you know, that tar kind of treated, whatever it's called. And then they formed it and poured concrete. Well, the concrete wrapped around the front of that wood at one point, and it's an easy chip off, and these guys have come along and chipped it all off. And I know some of it had happened since I had been coming around here, so that's the one thing. Plus I've seen prints down there and in there in the sand and stuff. And like I said, sometimes you don't want to stick your nose in that really important spot that they might have. If you feel that, hey, this is just the craziest spot or whatever, keep a little clearing on that spot, like a favorite spot that you can do a visual from a distance, and do it that way. And maybe you'll find that they end up marking more there or something. Maybe you're clumsy and they can tell that you're actually checking it out a lot, so they begin to play into it that way. That's the creature. You know how you had 3 kids and they're all different personalities and you don't get all this, and why aren't you more like her and he like this and that and that? That's what we're doing here. Whole bunch of different personalities, so it is what it is. We got a little talking tonight, so go back and listen to that talking. That was... You guys can hear the traffic. What time is it? 10 o'clock? You know? You know, I'm in a fairly remote place. Our town is you just go to the top of the hill here, and then you can have a big view of the town. But where I am is the dividing spot of turning all into farmland, or is all farmland and stuff. They're getting ready for big residential. These guys are going to be really upset around here because they're really camping out. They're really building up in here and stuff. So you go, and thank you for coming. And I'm going to. Thanks so much, everybody. Peace out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs. Support however you can support and stuff. And congratulations on that. Thank you for saying that. That's Tron who's saying that. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's Cesar, or I'm not sure what the CZA stands for, actually. Who are kind? I don't know. Could be. Purple flash. Nice. That was, okay, so 10:09. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I think I get to see these all on my thing. So I'm going to read them after and I'll comment later. Peace out, guys. I'm actually hearing them a bit out there. Off my right. Because you sit there and you listen to the creek for a while. You listen to all the noise. You pick out the different noises. You can pick out the different noises of the creek. Here where certain things are making certain noises and stuff. And then anything that comes in odd, research it. Peace out.